to Homestead. So today we're going to talk about two things that I think every garden should have. And really what it comes down to, I was thinking about this the other day as I was out working in my garden, is that when I walk on my garden, it kind of feels like a waterbed. And then it dawned on me, you know what, that'd be a great video talking about how I think your garden should feel like a waterbed, like you're walking on a waterbed. I've been gardening now for, was it 7 or 8 years now? And I've learned so much, and I really didn't have a lot of gardening experience or growing experience before I got started. And there's been a lot of things that I have learned along the way, and I'm still learning every year. Every year there's challenges to your garden. This year has been the revenge of the deer. I have deer that have been getting into my garden, and it seems like I have these little motion sensors out there, and I have tried different things over the years. Some things work better than others, but it seems like some years you just have to find the thing that's going to keep them out. And it's different every year. It's like they get immune to it, or they grow accustomed to certain things that are trying to get them out of the garden. The one thing they haven't gotten, used to yet or adapted to is the 30-06. So that still gets them every time. But I don't like killing deer out of season. I have to get technically a special permit in order to do so from the county, and that's a lot of trouble. And so and not only that, but I don't like butchering in, because if I kill it, I'm going to eat it. So I don't like butchering in the summertime. There's too many flies. There's ticks all over the deer, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather kill them in the fall. It's just it's easier to do. Preservation and meat production and putting that food up, it's just easier. All that aside, that's been this year's issue. Every year there's different challenges when it comes to growing a garden. But I have seen, or what I've noticed, is that if I do certain things throughout the year, especially in the winter and fall, I have less problems when it comes to disease or pest pressures when it comes to insects, things like that. I have done really good this year, I think, on some things. Again, the deer have totally devastated cucumbers, green beans this year, and okra. But what I've noticed is that my soil is amazing this year. My soil is for the last few years has been totally amazing. And I've noticed as I walk upon my soil, as I'm walking, and this year I'm doing the Living Traditions, the ground cover that they advertised, and I tried that, and it's been phenomenal for weed keeping and keeping things at bay. Everything is much more manageable this year, and so I'm really excited about all that. But as I'm walking on my garden, my feet are sinking into the soil on top of that fabric, that weed fabric, the weed barrier that I put down, and it's just so soft. And I know a lot of gardens out there, the ground is so hard. I've seen other videos that people have done, or I've been out to other people's gardens and I see it's really hard ground. And I ask, what kind of things are you putting on your garden to help, the nutrients? Well, and one of the big things is, we're putting compost on our garden, Zach. Compost, you see, because that adds nutrients. The problem with that is that it's already composted. Putting compost on your garden, yes, it's nutrients, but there's nothing left to break down. It's already broken down and you're putting just raw nutrients. And what I have noticed is that when you keep your garden soil alive and in a constant state of decay and composting, things grow just much more better. There's so many things you can do with it that you can't do when you have hard soil. So I was talking with some friends not that long ago, and we were at an event, and it was a guy who told me, he said he was from, what's his name? I think I have his name here written down. Let me go see his name here. I forgot his name. What is it? Go back. Frankie. That's right. It was Frankie. Frankie from New York. Frankie. I don't have that New York accent. From New York. Frankie. It's a good gangster name from New York. Frankie. He was telling me that he went out and just bought regular organic soil, and what he did was he put some manure and he put some whey from milk products. And if you remember, I've done videos before where we take the whey, oftentimes from the cheese making process here from our milk, and that whey is nutritionally dense. It's great for gardens. And some people say, oh, you need to make ricotta from that. Nah, not from raw milk. You're not going to make ricotta. You're going to need to add more milk to it. You can't make ricotta just from whey left over. I've tried it. It just does not turn out well. But you take that whey product, that leftover whey, and then you put that on your garden. Your garden soil will love it. And he did that. He put in manure and whey, and like days later, I think he said mushrooms were sprouting out of his garden. Mushrooms. That is a clear indicator that your garden your soil is alive, and there's things happening underneath. There's bioactivity underneath that soil. That's exactly what you want, because that mushrooms studies have shown and proven that mushrooms help feed the root nodules of your plants, and you'll get much better growth out of your garden if you can do that. Two things I think a garden should have. Okay, two things I think a garden should have. Every good garden, if you know you have a good garden if you have these two things. Okay, worms, live active worm colonies in your garden. If you can scoop down or take a shovel and uproot some of that soil, turn it over, and if you see worms on almost every single shovelful or handful you pull out of that garden, it's a good garden. If you can't do that, if you can't show worms on almost every single scoop out of your garden and when you turn soil over, you have work to do. Okay. The second thing that shows whether or not you have a good garden or not is having mycelium, mushrooms, some sort of fungus growing in your garden. Now, I know some fungus is bad for plants. I get that. Totally get that. But if you can see mushrooms, not just fungus, I know we have fungus problems. You're going to have fungus problems. If you have a good, active, growing, biologically sound garden with microbes and everything living underneath the soil, you're going to have fungus, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But if you have fungus, mushrooms popping up in your soil, you have a good composting garden. And if you have those two things, chances are when you walk on your garden, it will feel like a waterbed. It will feel soft. You will feel your feet sinking into the soil. So there's your things. Lots of people have lots of different theories and lots of different ideas that they put forth on how to have a great garden. I'm going to tell you that two signs of a great garden, if you have these two things, you're going to have a great garden. You have a great garden. Worms, active worm colonies, and mushrooms growing in your garden. If you have those two things, if it feels like you are walking on a waterbed, because if you have those two things, it'll feel soft and pliable. If you feel like you're walking on concrete in your garden, you got work to do. And so that's just from my experience. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this. I don't know. But just from my experience, if your garden feels like you're walking on a waterbed, you're good to go. There's microbes, there's microbiology, there's life underneath the soil. There's the combination of air, oxygen, and water, moisture, and oxygen and moisture brings forth life. And if you can get that underneath the soil, and worms and mushrooms, mycelium and active mycelium will do that. Absolutely, we'll do that. I see over and over again that people just put compost on your garden. The point is to keep your garden in a constant state of composting, a constant state of decay. You want that microbiology to continue breaking down. That's why I do lasagna layering on my garden. Wood chips, wheat straw, manures of various types, rabbits being the best, rice hulls, hay, ground up leaves from the fall, all layered on top of each other on your garden constantly, especially during the wintertime when you're not growing anything. Let that stuff settle on there and let it break down. And by spring, it won't be broken down yet. You're still adding stuff, in the early spring, right before you plant, and then you put down like a ground cover like I've done now. Or if you just plant right in the wood chips, whatever. I know some people say, I can't do back to Eden. It just doesn't work. Okay, fine. Put a ground cloth on it, and that'll keep the weeds at bay, guaranteed. You got to spend a little money up front, but it'll work, guaranteed. But when you walk upon that ground cloth, it's going to feel like a waterbed. It will feel like a waterbed, and your feet are going to sink, and that is a sure sign. And the worms having a smorgasbord of a buffet of things to chew on and break down, they're going to love it, and so will the fungus, so will the mushrooms. They will love it. And you see those two things, worms and mushrooms in your garden, you've got a good garden. All right, let me know. Let me know if I'm off base on this. But after 8 years of gardening, this is what I think. If you feels like you're walking on a waterbed for your garden, you got a good garden. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you find different. Listen, you can just put enough fertilizer on your garden, chemical fertilizer, and you can grow anything. But if you're trying to grow things naturally, this is a good way to go. Leave a comment below. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Let me know your thoughts. Also, the sponsor of this video, sponsor of almost every video we do, is Zeal, Zervita Zeal. I've been on this now for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Or maybe it's just been about 2 years now. I think I need to do a video just on that. Because, I mean, this has been a huge thing in my life. We got on Zervita Zeal back when Jamie got diagnosed with cancer. It was a way we could when we were traveling, because we were doing the Gerson diet thing. But there were times when we were traveling from doctors and things like that, we couldn't just bring a blender and bring all the stuff with us. Even though sometimes we tried, it was a way to get nutrient dense, fluids into her body. And I started doing it too, and I've been on it now. And I was doing the OMAD thing that she got me going on because she had such success with OMAD, the 1 meal a day diet plan. And I've been on doing OMAD now for almost 2 years, and over 2 years. And I started doing the Zeal, and the Zeal is such a nutrient dense product. And I've been taking it, and even sometimes my kids take it, and I love it. And it really helps me with my workouts. People have noticed that I have changed in my videos. I've lost weight, I have built muscle, and I owe a lot of that to Zervita Zeal. If you're looking for something that will help you look at all the ingredients. It's all natural ingredients. It's kosher. It's vegan. It's great. I love it. I will do it forever. So many of you guys have also used it, and have used my link below to join it. So if you're part of the Zeal Zervita Army, leave a link below about that, or leave a comment below and let us know that you are. If you want to try it, there's a link in the description below for you to try. And if you order under the Smart Subscribe option, you will get discounts off your order every month. And that's the way to go, is to do it, the Smart Subscribe. It's the way I do it. It's the way a lot of people do it. You save money that way. And I've been doing it now for 2 years. And I feel phenomenal, and I look good. I think I look good, and I'm enjoying it. And so and they're helping to sponsor these videos. So I appreciate all you guys who are trying that product. Let me know how it's worked for you. All right. Also, our shirts at teespring.com. Links in the description below. The Stupid Shit Hurt shirt is our bestseller. Check it out. All right, guys. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Hey, guys. I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.